Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Aloro. I'm thrilled to be your host for today's insightful interview. Today, we'll be having a discussion with EY. EY is a Microsoft MVP solution architect for business applications. We're going to delve into the world of cutting edge technology, Microsoft Copilot. It's a name that's been making waves recently across various Microsoft products. In our discussion, we'll uncover how Microsoft Copilot is set to revolutionize the way we interact with all Microsoft solutions across the Microsoft Power Platform. So get ready for an exploration of game-changing potential that lies ahead. So let's briefly discuss the possibilities of Copilot. So first of all, EY, is it really innovative or a theatrical approach?
It's a good question. There's a lot of hype about AI. I mean, go back about a year or so and ChatGPT, people asking what is ChatGPT, and now everybody's using it from writing sickness notes to letters to purchase property and trying to get the best price for it. So AI, a lot of people have. I mean, I've been at dinner parties and people you would never expect to talk about technology talks about AI and ChatGPT. And Microsoft's offering in the business application space is called Copilot. Microsoft's reasoning behind it is it's not in charge. You're still very much in charge, but you have this sort of helper, this virtual assistant, this, if you take the analogy of an aeroplane, the co-pilot. You are still the pilot, you are the one in charge, but you have a co-pilot to help you to make your life easier. And I want to be very clear that although people have been talking about this and hype for years, this is the first step into the massive room that's going to be AI. It's literally, I mean, it's still in public preview in most places, and we don't know where this will go. Microsoft is finding out the same way, but it's not just the hype, it is happening, and it's going to be really amazing to watch.
Fantastic. So what's the benefits for users without code knowledge?
So there are really two sides to this. The first side is people who make applications, who make automations. Using natural language, they are now able to describe what they want to build. So, I mean, if you go back decades, you had to be a developer, a programmer to code language, and nobody could code without it. If you didn't know to code, you weren't able to build things. Go back a decade or so ago when Power Platform, well, it was a bit before Power Platform, but when Dynamics 365 was launched, you could become a functional consultant. You could customize and configure without the box components, but you still need to know how it worked to do it, although you didn't need code. The step forward now is use natural language. You can say, I want to store information for people for birthdays. I want to have a first name, a last name, a date of birth, understanding how old they are, and I want to display this in an application. And it will go and build it for you. You don't even need to know how to put the components together. So this now opens up possibilities for frontline business workers to be able to create things. It also allows us now to start querying the data that we have, because it's great to have data and we have massive data silos, but what do we do with all that data? So using things like Power BI, we have the ability to query it. Instead of trying to learn how to write a query that says, give me the top 5 customers in the North American region, just type those words. And it will go away and analyze the data that you've got to be able to give you the answer that hopefully you're looking for. So again, using natural language, just the way that you and I are talking, right? We're not underneath typing different commands and programming each other. We're using natural language. And the ability for software to evolve in this means it opens up the possibility to both create and also utilize this technology for the benefits of the organizations that we work with it.
Fantastic, brilliant. So what are the limitations for Copilot, if there are any limitations?
So as I said a couple of minutes ago, this is really the first step through the door. And as a result, there are limitations in the product, which hopefully will be lifted at some point. So for instance, when creating tables to store data, a limit is it will only create a single table. It will store all the information in a single table. It doesn't have the concept at the moment of a relational table. So a table of birthdays, a table of locations for birthday parties, of caterers, of people who do that. Normally, you'd normalize the data, so you would ensure those are kept in separate tables. Copilot cannot create that at the moment. As well with automation, there are different types of Power Automate flows, and Copilot does not yet work on all of the different type of Power Automate flows. So there are limitations. But again, this is really new, that's really shiny. Microsoft is putting massive amount of resource into building out these additional capabilities that will hopefully come over time.
Okay, brilliant. Nice one. And my last question, EY, how do you personally feel about using Copilot?
Um, it's a mindset change. I'm very used to even occasionally doing queries, right? I'm from a business analyst background, not a developer background, but I have written SQL queries over time. I'm very used to trying to work it out and how it goes. And I now need to think, okay, how can I type this out rather than working from a system perspective? And moving on from that, what is the best way? Because although it uses natural language, we can fine tune our prompts. There are a massive amount of tutorials I've seen out there on how to get the most from ChatGPT and OpenAI. Copilot is a bit easier to deal with, but it's about just ensuring you've got all the right information in there as well as you type. And it doesn't just take each sentence on its own. You can build it up. So you can give it a bit of information and then you can refine that. And it's just the mindset of how to use this essentially new system add-on to be able to give me what I'm looking for. But it's great when drafting email responses. It could take input from data that I hold. I don't need to worry so much about templates and filling it in. It's amazing for that querying data, large data sources, and being able to try and find anomalies or places which I want to look at further for it. Again, it's really great in that.
Thank you very much for that, EY. I really appreciate that. And thank you, everyone, for taking the time to have a listen into our interview. So what you'll see on the screen now is the QR code. First one would be for my LinkedIn page. You can access my LinkedIn page for more information with regards to N.Progression and some of the interviews that I have taken part in. Second QR code is to our website. Now, there is more information on this interview and what we can offer to you in terms of our complimentary proof of concept on the Power Platform, and also more information with regards to Dynamics 365 and Copilot. And also you can have a look at the information on our LinkedIn page as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for your time, and let's thanks EY for his time as well. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Pleasure to come and talk about this. Thank you for the opportunity.